another video.
Hit that note, Enrique.
There was another video made for the UK that had less violence.
Really? Because the UK was the one that wanted less violence?
So apparently the final shot of the video for the UK version shows his legs moving, suggesting that he's not dead.
Oh, I forgot that he died.
Yeah.
I just remember the scene of her crying. I can be a hero, baby.
Man, what a time. It was
Es casi una experiencia religiosa.
Enrique Iglesias, in all of his beanie-wearing glory.
Besar la boca tuya de ver una aleluya es una experiencia religiosa.
The original J-Lo.
Oh.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Oh.
Mickey Rourke in a music video directed by Joseph Kahn.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, that's 2001.
He has a lot of songs that I like know so well, but I think are all like...
I like his songs. I'm not gonna lie.
No, you know what? No, listen, Bailamos is one of my favorites. Like, I love that song. Bailamos, think of the rhythm, take you over, Bailamos. And I like Rhythm Divine too.
Yeah.
But some of his songs just... That one...
Tonight I'm Loving You. I don't like the album version of that.
The one that has the F word?
Yeah, I don't like when he's just like, 'cause tonight I'm fucking you. I'm like,
it's a little too much.
It's like, listen, I'm not subtle,
but
that's
it's a little
too much for me.
It's a little too much.
Yeah.
But no, what's the one that I used to love, that I used to make fun of? Un poco de ti para sobrevivir. Así como canta él.
That was from novela, wasn't it? That was a theme song for novela.
It was Marisol.
Marisol.
They were just. Wait, we're recording, right?
Yes, we are.
Well, everyone, welcome to Enrique Iglesias' Greatest Hits. Also known as Pero Let Me Tell You, episode 348.
Yes, sir.
Viste.
You see that applause because you got it.
Viste.
Yes.
What other great Enrique? You know which Enrique Iglesias song I thought was kind of...
Rhythm Divine's the one with the emu.
Yes.
Okay.
Was, man, I haven't thought of these songs in like 30 years. Y solo pienso en ti.
Oh, yes. Only
Solo
You.
en ti.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Spanish version of Only You.
Only You.
It's an English song. It's an old song. No, 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 no.
Con solo un empiezo de ayer y no quiero volver al olvido.
All I needed was another day. All I needed was the love you gave. And all I ever knew, only you.
You know what? I think that Enrique Iglesias has sort of, I don't know. Yes, he is a Nepo baby, but I think that but he's so like whatever about it. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm wearing the same hat with the same jeans. Like, I don't care.
He made looking dirty a fashion statement.
That people were like,
okay,
sure, I'll eat this up.
Plus, I mean, who doesn't love seeing the picture of his father on the plane eating KFC?
Yeah.
In a tank top, right?
Julio Iglesias.
Yes.
What thing he does here.
Yeah. You know, let's have all the Iglesias come on the show.
Name them all.
All right. There's Julio. There's Julio Jr. There's Enrique. And there's Chabeli.
Oh, damn, you know all the Iglesias. Why do we know all the Iglesias? Man, listen.
It was a time. Listen, Chabeli interviewed Thalia right before the finale of
She asked her the question that everybody wanted to know.
About her ribs.
About her ribs.
Yes. Yes. Chabeli was the Katie Couric of Univision.
Thalia, a ti te faltan costillas. No, es que yo estoy muy feliz.
Ay, Chabeli.
Wow, we're starting off our show talking about the Enrique family. I always say that for some reason, Julio Iglesias, white women of the 80s loved Julio Iglesias.
They sure did.
Wasn't he on the Golden Girls?
He sure was. He sure was. He was like Sophia's Valentine's date.
And he had a fragrance in the 80s.
That's right.
He did.
That's right.
He was before everybody else having some perfume.
I don't know. What do you think Julio Iglesias' perfume smelled like?
Old white lady that lived in Century Village, Pembroke Pines.
That is a very specific scent.
Yes. Yes. Did you know any
you don't think
did you have any
like musk?
Did you have any aunt that used to have Julio Iglesias perfume?
I don't think so, but I also wasn't paying attention to my aunt's perfumes at that time.
You would have known. They didn't. Eso es de Americana.
They all had poison.
Los Americanos loved Julio Iglesias.
They did.
You know, he was a Latin lover.
Yes.
And I'd be on TV, I see him on TV. I'm like, I don't like any of these songs.
I couldn't tell you any of his songs aside from literally the one song he has with Willie Nelson. To All the Girls I Loved Before. But that's the only song of his I know. Like
no. He's the type of person that when you play his songs, you know them all. You don't know the album 1600 Bel Air Street? That's like one of his most famous albums.
From Jazzy Jeff?
No. Like for real.
Oh, no.
Yeah. If you listen to his songs,
I probably know them.
Like, look, listen, in men, the trinity of like, not trinity, but like growing up in the 80s, it was Julio Iglesias, José Luis Rodríguez, Diango, Rafael, Jose.
Oh, so talented they named him twice.
Jose. Yes. And then if you go back now to like the 60s, all these people say that the greatest singer ever was Nino Bravo.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, Nino Bravo. If you hear his songs, you know who he is.
Oh, well, I mean, we can't forget
Juan Gabriel, of course. Miguel Gallardo.
That's right.
Do you remember what Miguel Gallardo sings?
I just remember him as a thing, not what he sings.
Hoy tengo ganas de ti.
Oh, because you know what?
Tengo ganas. But that song, no. I know where you're going to go with this.
When I think of that song, I think of Azúcar Moreno.
Right, no, but that song was huge.
Oh, no, I know it was.
That song was huge, and it was a ballad, and he wrote that song.
No, I know that it was.
I'm really taking it back here.
Yes, we're dating ourselves.
This is like peak Peluqueria rock and Siempre en Domingo, you know.
This is all about Peluqueria rock.
Yeah, this is the male version.
We should totally do our playlist already of Peluqueria rock.
But you know, like José Luis Rodríguez songs, you know, right? Dueño de ti.
Okay,
Dueño de ti.
My thing with them is I don't know them by name, but I know them when I hear them.
Dueño del aire y del reflejo de la luna sobre el agua.
I feel like I should be on a balcony looking down at you.
Dueño de nada.
Be like,
Dueño de
serenade
and then Rafael was Toco madera.
Yes.
No vuelvo junto a ti aunque me muera.
Y el Buki.
No, but Buki, that was late 80s, early 90s.
But that was still like that Peluqueria rock era.
¿Tú te acuerdas de Mafia?
No.
Me he enamorado hoy de ti, pero perdidamente. Do you remember that song?
No, I have no clue what you just said.
Oh, that was a Siempre en Domingo staple.
See, those are those blind spots that I have because, again, remember, since my parents came here young, when I grew up listening to like, you know, the Beatles and Fleetwood Mac, but I also got some of those people from
the
my
one that I don't really know any songs of hers, but we've talked about her here on the show, that she's been an ever presence in our life, and I don't know a single song of hers, is Charitín. What did Charitín sing?
Everything.
And nothing all at once.
Yeah, exactly. You know what, Charitín? You need to come on our show just so we can ask that question. So we because our listeners and our viewers want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember my favorite Spanish song is of all time?
The peacock one, no?
No. But it is with an animal.
It is with an animal. Oh, la gata
bajo la lluvia.
Yes, that's Rocío.
Rocío Dúrcal. Yeah, that is my favorite song ever in Spanish.
That song is wonderful. If for no other reason, then we need more songs that talk about like
wet felines.
Not even that. Taking me out for coffee and then making love.
Invítame un café y hazme el amor.
So, like, do you think she means to do it like while they're having coffee, like at the Starbucks?
No, after. No, Rocío was a lady.
Okay, that's true. I feel like there's a lot of wrought
that
iron
song,
furniture.
like, that is one of those songs that I listen to it, and nowadays it makes me sad because I think about being a little boy, like 4 years old, and listening to that song because my parents loved her. They loved Rocío Dúrcal, and they would play her music a lot. And that song came out when I was a little, I mean, small. I'm talking about like 4 years old. And I remember it.
Yeah.
When my mom has tapes. Mm-hmm. I don't know if your parents did the same thing before when we were kids in the 80s, before VHS camcorders came out. My parents used to record me on a tape recorder.
Oh yeah. I have
to hear your voice.
Yeah.
And there's a tape of me singing Juan Gabriel. Noah, 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 Noah. Because all that song says is Noah, Noah. And then I loved Gloria, Gloria. I think I got your number. But then I would just say Gloria, Gloria. Because I didn't speak English.
And you're 3. Like,
I didn't speak English.
Yeah.
And
There's a cassette tape of me somewhere. I know it. Because my parents did the same thing. But it's funny because my parents told me that when the cassette tape would come out, like they would do it, I wouldn't want to speak.
Of course.
So they would have to hide it.
Wow, how things have changed.
I was going to say, clearly, I've evolved.
But I was always into all that stuff. You know, it's funny because thinking back on it now, I remember being 6, 7 years old and loving to watch on Channel 33, I think on Saturday nights or Friday nights, Showtime at the Apollo.
Oh. Give me showgirls coming down.
With the Apollo dancers.
Yes, it's showtime.
And I remember not understanding what the Apollo was.
I didn't know what it was.
I was like, oh, it's a theater.
We didn't know what Harlem was.
Yeah.
We were in Miami. The hell did I know about, the Apollo?
If you didn't know what Harlem was, being that your parents
really
were raised
didn't know
here,
what Harlem
I
was.
didn't know what Harlem was. My parents had only been here like 4 years. ¿Qué?
Adlem. Adlem.
¿A dónde es eso? ¿Quién vive ahí?
Pero como celebran.
I love the Showtime at the Apollo.
I love the Showtime at the Apollo.
Yeah. I didn't know the importance of like
the Apollo Theater.
Not only historically of the Apollo Theater, but like the amateur night.
Yeah, the whole of
like
it. Yes.
Being invited. It's been one of the what's been one of the white artists that has been the best received at the Apollo Theater? The answer will surprise you.
Wait, I feel like I know this. Hold on.
The answer will surprise you.
Hold on. It's, oh my God. I think, okay, it's like late 80s, early 90s, right?
Yes.
And he's wearing like, for some reason, it's like an oversized suit, but
There's
it's
several
like, it's like
he's.
tan. Oh, several he's?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Color Me Bad?
No, it's New Kids on the Block.
Oh, I was totally off.
Yeah. New Kids on the Block were a total hit on Showtime at the Apollo or the Apollo Theater.
Oh.
Yeah, because they used to gauge a lot the Apollo Theater when like up and coming artists would go. Yeah. And if there were hits at the Apollo Theater, like if the audience loved you, it was great. Right. And if they didn't like you, you knew.
No, you got what is it? Is it like what do they call it when they bring up the guy with the crane? There's a word for the guy like that he comes out and takes you off the stage.
The jester?
No, there's a name. The what?
Sandman.
There you go. Mm-hmm. I was like, I know that has a name. Like, yeah.
I was just gonna say El Duende.
El Duende.
I don't know. That's just
they don't have a dwarf that comes out.
That's just a fun word to say. El Duende.
That is a fun word.
By the way, do we have Junior Cam today?
Yay!
Okay, good.
Okay. All right.
Good with the Junior Cam. Okay, I feel this has all been preparation. B. Oh, that's a nice shirt.
Why? Wherever did you get it, sir? I think you can get it at T.
The good people here at Pero Let Me Tell You. Yes. Shout out to them. Thank you for that. And this incredible shirt.
So it's available on tpublic.com.
So for those of you who are listening, Junior's wearing our Lechon Life t-shirt that we premiered in 2018 and has sold well during Christmas time.
Yep. And we kind of give it to guests now.
Yes.
Yeah. A little parting gift.
Yeah, for Lechon Life.
Yeah, we're about that Lechon life, Look, because you and I can't be about thug life, so we're going to have to be Lechon life.
No, we grew up in Kendall. Well,
depending on who you talk to.
Well, yes.
Mr. A-Rod, yeah.
The hood.
Yeah.
According to A-Rod, we grew up in the hood. No, and I grew up in Westchester, so that's even more hood.
Oh, yeah. That's like EBT.
I mean, our drive-bys were Domino's Pizza.
Qué rico. Un hambre.
Do you remember Casino's Pizza?
I do.
Godfather's Pizza?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't remember what they taste like, but I remember
they existed. Yes.
That's like an OG Miami thing.
Tal vez sabían a rayo, pero I remember they existed.
So what's going on with you this week?
What is going on with me this week? I don't know. Like it's very cash week. It's a very, very fun week. But
your Café La Llave mug matches your shirt.
It does. And you know what the funny thing is? I did not plan that.
That's when it's the best.
It's just when things align, you just go with it.
Yo tengo tremenda hambre.
I'm very hungry too.
Me too. But I have a problem today.
What is the problem?
I forgot my wallet.
Tú saliste de la casa sin cartera.
Yeah.
Parece mentira.
A picture of my driver's license.
That's not the same.
I know.
That's not the same. La policía te va. Actually, you know what? Now that you brought that up about. So did you hear about This is it's one of those things where it's like, you know what, caballero, this is why we can't have nice things. So you know that they've changed like a lot of the rules now with like IDs at the airport.
Yes, the real ID.
The real ID and all of that. Well, Costco had to release a statement online because people started saying that you could use your Costco card at TSA as a valid form of identification.
Have people seen the images of the picture they take of you in the Costco card?
That's like
it's big. Like 20 DPI.
It might as well be an inkjet.
No,
actually, it probably is.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
That's cute.
That makes me so sad because it's like, at what point do you look at that? Like, oh, sure, a BJ's card is going to be able to just get me in anywhere.
Sure.
Like, dude, like it makes me sad for the human race.
Yeah, sure. That's real ID for you.
That's real ID.
I mean, now you needed to like travel and domestically and all that. But
do you have your real ID?
We all had real IDs because Florida has been on the real ID sort of circuit, actually, if you will, for a while.
Jose didn't have a real ID because he hadn't had to renew his license yet, and so
he didn't have the star.
No, I thought the last time now that we went to for Coachella, he had to take his passport because literally the day after we left, it went into effect.
Do you have bad driver's license pictures?
I'm pretty sure that I do. I know. Let me see. Let me pull up my.
So my very first driver's license, my restricted, was terrible. Other than that, all of my driver's license pictures have been fire. Like I'm like, why isn't this picture? I mean,
no, this one I just look very full.
Honestly, you reminded me of a cantaloupe.
Yeah, I'm like, it's not a bad picture per se.
You're
but
a little
it's not,
swollen.
But yeah, I look in chow, right? I look very full.
Yeah, you had a lot of sodium that day.
I probably did. I probably had a lot of crackers.
Saltines?
Well, yeah. Yeah, not export sodas.
Oh.
Not gildas.
Yeah, no, they have a law now. You have to have your real ID. And I mean, look,
what is the difference between the real ID? I don't even know.
That it has a certain certification. It has like your immigration status and all that stuff.
Oh, really?
On it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in Florida for a long time, when you take out your driver's license, you tell them what your immigration status was, if you were a resident or if you were a citizen.
Really?
Yeah, forever.
Where is that reflected in
the scan when they scan it?
Oh, when they scan it. Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like on.
But it's had here. They've been doing it for a while, and then your driver's license has a little star on the top. I think right-hand corner.
It's the right-hand corner. Yeah.
I'm like not looking forward to renewing my driver's license because I really like my picture now.
Maybe you can just renew it, and they can just give you a new one. Like not.
Well, my driver's license is a real ID. So I'm hoping that when it expires, I could just renew it and keep the same picture.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. Like you can probably just do that.
Yeah, that's what I hope.
Yes. You know what? I'm going to hope that for you.
Well, you know what? In speaking of driver's license and you also have to say the story on how the old driver's license, the old ones. I'm talking about people, the paper ones, the paper driver's license with like an actual picture of you that was laminated.
Yep.
You had that, I think, until like well into the 2000s.
Yeah.
When it was like practically not legal anymore. Yeah. But I think that you kept it to prove a point.
I sure did.
Yeah.
I sure did. Because
and then you give me a hard time for proving useless points.
Because they kept look, as long as it was renewable and I was able to just put the sticker on the back, because that's how you would renew it, kids.
That baby blue sticker.
You just by the end it was just like it was all sticker and not card. As long as that said it was valid, you know what? It was valid in the state of Florida. So yes, until you tell me, DMV people, that I have to go and get a new one, if you send me the sticker's valid.
Okay.
That was my point.
Let me ask you something. Now that we are having...
I didn't get let into a club in Las Vegas once because of it, but still.
Te jodiste.
It was fine. I was there on Hallmark's dime. I went back to the very nice hotel room and...
Where were we staying?
What's the hotel that we saw Robbie in?
The Venetian.
No.
The Encore.
Yes.
It was a nice hotel.
It was the Encore or the Wynn, one of those two.
That's a nice hotel.
Yeah. This is why I was not that upset about going back to the room.
You know what I just want to say? They're not a sponsor, but I love to say randomly throughout the day. They're not a sponsor, although we're going to give them a little hit now. I love saying randomly just throughout the day going, safe life for prayer, safe life for a place. Just randomly.
You know that I used to think, are they a British company?
I don't know.
Okay, here's why. Because The first time I ever heard of them is when I would listen, like way back in the early 2000s, like when the internet first started and internet radio first started.
Capital FM.
At Capital FM. And they would always play Safe Flight Repair, Safe Flight Replace. But then it had British people talking. So I thought it was a British company.
I don't know the origins of the company, but I just love to randomly say Safe Life Repair, Safe Life Replace.
I mean, there are worse things to sing.
What?
Just in general.
Oh, well, yeah. Stanley Steamer. We're tough on dirt.
Gentle on carpet.
Anyway,
I miss
so
jingles.
so now that we're in the summer months and kids are out of school.
They are.
They're out of school. So something I hear all the time now. And
I'm bored.
No, that I hear, especially now towards the end of the school year, that like a lot of parents would ask me. It's like, oh, what is your kid doing for the summer? Oh, what is your kid doing to the summer? Oh, he applied to this summer camp. Oh, no, he applied to this program. Or no, he applied to this. Do you think that people now are more into like what their kid is doing over the summer and making sure that their kid does something in the summer than when we were kids? Because when I was a kid, you had some people that did things, but most people didn't do anything in the summer. You just stayed home.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of things. I think there's people who need to find a place to put the kids in the summer because we don't have summer school anymore. So now, before, if you had to work, you're going to summer school because I don't have childcare, but that doesn't exist anymore. So there's that. But I do think there's an element also of like, and we talked about this before, kids nowadays, are always online on YouTube and this and that. And so it's a way of kind of like, look, I can't have this kid just literally sitting in front of the computer for now it's not even 8 hours, right? Now it's 24 hours or whatever. So I'm going to send them off to at least go and do something for 5 hours. And then they're going to come home and they're going to be glued to the damn TV anyway. But still, I think there's elements of both of those things.
I think there's a third element.
Well,
I think the third element is parents saying, oh, my kid is doing so-and-so.
There's that, but those people have always existed.
No, but I think they really exist now because now it's all about like, oh, look at my kid. There's summer camps that you have to like qualify for, that you have to apply for and like advance because they get filled up.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the Dade County, Tamiami, parks summer camp. I'm talking about like exclusive summer camps.
Oh, okay,
I think it's everything now. There's parents that's like, oh, because my kid is getting into the summer program camp here, and my kid got like chosen to go to there. I'm like, my kid is staying home and doing nothing.
I didn't realize that there were like,
and I have mixed.
There were applications.
I mean, listen, this is very opinion based, and every kid is different, and you know what's best for your kid. I believe in giving kids a break. I certainly got a break throughout. I went to summer camp 1 year, and when I think of the fact that I went to summer camp when I was in first grade, my parents had only been here 5 years. I don't know how they did that.
They probably sent a letter home.
I don't know how. My parents did not know what summer camp was, but I was enrolled in summer camp. Mind you, it was a summer camp next to my school.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. When I think summer camp,
in Westwood Park.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, like at the park by Riviera, things like that.
Do you think that's where like people like send their...
Again, I don't have children.
No.
So when you say summer camp,
they send them to these like summer camps. Oh, and they're going to go and paint with painters, and they're going to go do botany, and they're going
botany.
Yes, and they're going to, whatever. Like ridiculous things. But there's a lot now of like, seeing where your kid is going to summer camp. Right. I mean, look, again, it depends on the child. I believe in giving kids time off. I would...
I don't think it's a bad thing to keep your kid entertained.
It's not. But like some people really go out of their way to like keep their kid, busy during the summer. And again, maybe that works for your kids. Some kids need that. But I'm very big on giving kids their space too. Because you know what? Kids actually wake up really early to go to school.
Yeah. I'm not going to feel bad for them. I got to wake up early to go to work.
Yeah, but you're in your 40s.
So suck it up, buttercup.
I don't think it's a matter of sucking it up. They get up really early to go to school. And
they have more energy than I do. They're fine.
I believe in giving them their time. So whatever.
Reclaiming their time.
Yeah. Who knew? So I actually this week, hold on, because I
I just realized what you're wearing. It's with an upcoming guest. You have the Live Like Bella bracelet.
Yes, I'm wearing one.
Yes. Oh,
Nice.
I want one.
We're looking forward to.
Yeah, keep an eye out for that interview.
Okay, where did I put it?
Primos.
Okay, so it came out in the news this week that the Louvre in Paris, this grand museum, I think it closed for a couple of days.
Yeah, the staff
was like, we can't take it anymore because of mass tourism.
Right.
And I have to tell you that, and that's kind of what I want to talk about. I've been very fortunate, very, very fortunate that I traveled the world by the time I was 20. I was very lucky that or 22, that I got to do a lot of traveling like right after college, and we went to a lot of places. And it's funny because I remember we used to go to Europe, and you'd see tourists, but I mean,
it wasn't anything crazy.
But now
is it really that bad?
It is that bad.
Because you were in Italy last year.
I remember in the early 2000s going to the Vatican. Mm-hmm. I went 3 times. I went like 3 years to Italy back to back. I went 2 years back to back. Then we went to Greece and we went to Italy again. And all those times we went to the Vatican. And I remember just walking into the Vatican.
Really?
I think there was security, but walking into the Vatican. When I went to the Vatican last year, mm-hmm. I had to leave my family behind because they weren't going to stand in line, go to the line, be in the line like an hour and a half, and then they joined me for the last stretch of it for like another 45 minutes. We were almost 2 hours to enter the Vatican.
Wow.
Right? But like that, everything.
Yeah. Well, Spain not that long ago was like talking about that there's too many tourists.
Barcelona is trying to limit the tourists. Yeah. I remember I've been to Mykonos, to Santorini. I went in 2004, so it's been 20 years, and I remember there were tourists, but now I look at Mykonos and Santorini, and it's a sea of people in these narrow roads.
It is because it's not.
But you know what I think is so funny? You know what I think is so funny? That nowadays we talk about inflation and we talk about money. La gente no tiene un kilo para caerse muerto. Pero everybody's going on a cruise. Everybody's going to Europe. Everybody's traveling abroad. And everybody's going out to eat. So people are always saying that, the economy and we don't have any money and everything's very expensive, which it is.
The Amazon packages are coming every day.
Which it is. But I don't know what's going on because everywhere you go, everything is packed. Everything is packed. A cruise, especially here living in Miami, you know that basically a week before a cruise, you could go to a cruise line page and get a booking. There are cruises now. The average cruises that are 2-3 years booked in advance.
Oh, really?
Like completely sold out.
Oh, wow. No,
like there's Carnival ships and Royal Caribbean ships that like the 2026 sailings are like 90% sold out.
Oh, no. The other day I got something for Virgin for a week sailing for like $2,000.
Yeah, but Virgin is very different.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying that's a great deal.
Yeah, but it's a very different demographic and whatever. But these major cruise lines are like, I follow cruise lines a lot, and the 2026 sailings are like mostly sold out. Now to get like if you wanted to go now last minute, you can't get one. A plane ticket sold out, hotels sold out, everything is sold out, or there's very little. You see images at the beach, you see images around Europe packed with tourists to the brim, so much that the Louvre had to close. Tú vas un sábado, you go to a restaurant or something, and everything is packed. Pero la economía está mala.
I know.
So I don't know where the money's coming from. Where's the money, honey?
I don't know, but you should go to Beat Culture Wednesdays and Fridays and have Pim Pam Pollo.
Pim Pam Pollo. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. But I was going to ask you. I'm like, have they given a reason as to why there's more tourism than normal?
There just is. I think a lot of it may be social media. That people now create these little like, oh, look at me in Paris having a baguette.
Coño, pero I mean, I understand doing it for the gram, so to speak, pero it costs, baby. It's not cheap. It's not like it's free.
It costs, but you could go. I think because people now have more resources, they could budget more. And
they put it on Klarna.
Yeah. Or Affirm. Yeah. They either do a pay in full or I don't know, but it's out of control. Like out of control. Yeah, no. When we went to Italy last year, everywhere it was thousands and thousands and thousands of people just to enter wherever. Like the Coliseum, again, I had gone to the Coliseum like 2 or 3 times. I remember just when I mean walking into the Coliseum, it's not that the door was there and I walked in. It was like, okay, when I got
minimal wait.
I got my ticket and that's it.
Right.
I got there. I woke everybody up there and I did a pre-registration to be there at 8 in the morning to get the ticket to go in. When we went at 8, it was like 8:15. Yeah, I waited in line like 10 minutes. I got my ticket. I had pre-registered and I got it. We were in the Coliseum maybe 2 hours to 2.5 hours. No, actually, no. I don't think it was 2.5 hours. Like 2 hours. By the time we left, the line wrapped around the Coliseum. Damn. In like 2 hours. Porque ya by this time it was like 10:30 in the morning. And I'm like, pero la gente están
arrancados.
Están arrancados. No tienen un kilo para caerse muerto.
Yeah. It is funny to hear that dichotomy of like, oh my God, things are awful. But nobody's staying home.
Listen, people aren't vacationing like we used to vacation when I was a kid. How did you vacation when I was a kid? I'll tell you the Cuban vacationing.
Okay.
Like Cuban vacationing in the 80s and 90s. You would rent a hotel, usually in Naples. There was a time in the late 80s, early 90s.
Like Sanibel, Marco Island.
That people were all people here in Miami were all about the West Coast of Florida.
Marco Island.
Sanibel, Naples, E. Fort Myers.
Yes.
We would go to Naples. Usually my aunt would rent the room. We would stay, my aunt, my uncle, my cousins, my mom, my dad, and my grandmother. 9 people in one room, in one regular little hotel. And when I mean hotel, I mean like the Motel
6,
right? We'd stay 9 people. And then what my mom would do, and my parents would do, we would buy like floaties for the pool. And that's what we would sleep on. Y nos metíamos los 9. And then they would take like a little grill to cook in the balcony, and they would take hot dogs and like una hornilla to make hot dogs. Yes, and we were vacationing. That, ladies and gentlemen, was the Cuban way to vacation in the 80s and 90s.
And you know what? Listen,
that's before Instagram, before you had to prove where you were staying.
But you know what? Okay, look, I know that was like out of necesidad, but you know what? There's a charm to that.
Oh, I loved it. I think back on it super fondly.
There's a charm to that of like, you know what? We're just gonna go and get away with it however we can.
I think about it fondly because since I was a kid, I got to sleep on the bed. Oh, okay. But my parents were sleeping on
the raft.
The raft. Y tenían la espalda partida. That's an important part of the story.
That is an important part of the story.
I didn't have to drive there.
Yeah, that is true. But I just there's a certain charm to it. I don't know. There's a beauty to like just, you know what? We're just gonna take time off, and it doesn't have to be about lucid. You know, like showing off. Yeah,
no, I think about that really fondly. That's like when we would go to Disney World. Till this day, I think about a trip we took to Disney World, which was the first time I went to Epcot Center. So this was like in the mid to late 80s. That it was my aunt, my cousin, her boyfriend, my parents, me, my brother, and my cousin. So that's 7 people. Mm-hmm. And we were all in a Cutlass Supreme. Do you remember what car was a Cutlass Supreme? It was a coupe from Oldsmobile.
Yeah,
it was 7 people. How on earth? It wasn't a minivan. It wasn't. How on earth did we fit 7 people in that car? Let's not even talk about the seatbelt situation.
Well, number one, there was no seatbelt situation. Number one, and again, all I have to do is remind you of how many people we would shove into my old Buick Regal.
Right, but that was short trips.
Right. But what I'm saying is, these cars had space in a weird way.
Yeah, but that was like, okay, we're going to school. Like,
right.
We drove 4 hours to Orlando.
You were small.
And I remember que nosotros cuando íbamos a Orlando nos quedamos en el Howard Johnson.
Oh, en el Hojo.
No, en el Howard Johnson. Ahí, el que tiene el techito anaranjado. El piquito. I don't know. El tiene el piquito anaranjado. The Hojo.
The Hojo, baby.
Yeah. But no, I think back of my vacationing.
Your childhood vacations.
You know who talks about that really well? Juana en Que Pasa USA. In the episode when they want to go to España Española. And she's like, sí, porque nosotros rentamos en la playa y Juana cocina arroz y frijoles para medio mundo.
Para todos los primos que nos caen de
Hialeah. Y usted ahí, yo cocinando. And I'm like, yep, that's how it was.
Yeah, she's not wrong. She's not wrong at all.
The Peñas go. The Peñas would have gone to Spain in the 70s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There would have been less people there.
There would have been less
A
people.
lot less people.
Nos vamos a encontrar la fuente de la juventud. Sant Agustin, Florida.
Here we come.
You got to know that episode to know that. So, what else is going on with you?
We know all the episodes. If there's one thing, like if they ever did like a Jeopardy of Capasa USA, we'd win every question.
Win, but then there's some episodes that I'm like,
Doesn't matter.
I don't know the Patria episode when they want to convert the Jew to Catholicism.
I know that one fairly
That
well.
one, that's not one of my favorite episodes.
I'm not talking about favorites. I'm talking about would we win the Jeopardy?
Oh no, we would win the Jeopardy.
We would win the Jeopardy.
I'd be like daily double. I'm like, I'm wagering the entire amount.
I'd be like, what is España Española? Who is Barbarita?
Who was a reporter that came to film the Peña family for one day?
Patria.
Spencer Tracy.
Oh, well, no.
Spencer Williams.
Spencer Tracy was the actor. No, because Patria was the camera woman.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, but she didn't have a name. She was not
Well, she
credited.
wasn't Patria then.
Yes, she was
yes,
not
but she
credited.
was Patria, Sister Josefa, the owner of the Shishi Boutique.
And
she was dancing in heaven.
Who is she? We should find her. Anyway, whatever. Let's move on.
Maybe she's a fan.
Let's move on.
That'd be great if we find out that she listens to the show every week. Let's see. What are we looking for here? Oh, okay. Is there a song of the summer this year?
I mean, I don't know. I've heard there isn't.
I know it's only June, but I feel like we're already through June. I don't know. I just felt like that's such a fun, like little, song of the summer bullshit thing that I look forward to every year. And there's not one this year.
Last year was
Espresso.
Pimento.
Pimento? Yes, that hit Sabrina Carpenter song. Talk about me, talk about you. It's that cool pimento.
Nice.
Spread on the cheese.
I have to tell you something about Espresso.
Uh-huh.
I thought that song was so obnoxious and so
Oh,
stupid.
I thought it was so...
But it grew on me.
I thought here's the thing. That was one of those songs where I thought it was cute, whatever. But then there's certain songs that once I see the video, I like it more. And that's one of them.
Let's look at some songs of the summer.
Because that video was cute. She was giving a very Brigitte Bardot, Kylie during her slow era vibe.
Most people are not going to get anything that you just said there, right?
Most people don't get most things I say.
Okay, here are some songs from the summer.
I was going to wait for people to get what I said. I wouldn't have a podcast.
Here's some songs of the summer.
Okay.
Crazy in Love, Total Jam.
Okay.
Despacito, Love It or Hate It, Total Jam.
Yes.
Ugh, Old Town Road.
Okay. But
Call Me Maybe,
yes.
Hot in Here.
Well, I mean, it was summer.
I Got a Feeling.
Yes, for sure.
Blurred Lines.
Yeah.
I can't stand that song.
That's not what we're saying.
As It Was.
What is As It Was?
It always just the same as it was.
Oh, okay. By Harry.
Oh, here's a good one. The Boy Is Mine.
That was the song of the summer?
Do you know there's a whole debate as to who The Boy was for?
I don't.
So lyrically, a lot of people say that The Boy was Monica's.
Okay. Whose apartment was he at the end?
That is how I say it.
That's how I apply it. It's Brandy,
because
right.
at the end
He was
of the
going to see
video,
Brandy.
opens the door and he smiles, and then Monica comes behind her, and then he's like, so he was going to go see Brandy.
Yeah, I feel like he was but then was he really choosing Brandy?
I mean, he was. The thing is that I'm Team Monica all the way.
Right.
All the way. But I got to be honest, it was Brandy.
It was Brandy.
Yeah, it was Brandy. The Boy was Brandy's. Okay. Confessions Part 2, one of the greatest songs ever.
That is a great song.
Watermelon Sugar High, good song.
Well, Harry had two.
No, I want to go back more. Oh, okay, there we go. Jesse's Girl.
Wow. That was a song of the summer?
Oh, one of my favorites of all. I know it's not for me.
If you steal my sunshine.
Making sure I'm not
Len?
in too deep. There's a whole documentary on
You've
Len.
told me about this documentary, and I keep wanting to watch it, and then I forget it exists the minute I stop talking to you.
Walking on Sunshine, duh. Umbrella, Genie in a Bottle.
You know that it took me a minute when you said Walking on Sunshine, right?
Why?
Because I wasn't thinking of the one from the 80s.
I was thinking of Jennifer Lopez.
thinking
We're
Jennifer.
walking
Yes.
on sunshine.
That song makes me want to do aerobics.
I kissed the girl. Oh, okay. let's talk about this song
All
in
right.
terms of Song of the Summer, which we actually were singing a little bit before we started recording. La Macarena.
Yes.
You know what?
I think that was the song of all seasons, though. I don't think that was.
You know what?
That overtook the world.
For those of us who are older than, I don't know, 40, let's not pretend the Macarena wasn't the hit that it was.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of people now are hating on the Macarena. And I'm like, listen, whether you like the song or not, in the summer of 95, La
couldn't escape
Macarena,
it.
you were doing La Macarena next to your tia and next to your friends from school.
Yep.
En el parisito que hicieron en la terraza de la casa. I mean, you were doing La Macarena. Let's not pretend that you weren't.
Don't act like you're
So when
better
people
than
now
that.
are all cool, and you know the thing about La Macarena, I remember this very carefully. Everybody did that freaking dance. Of
course.
Everyone, even like the cool people did the dance.
Yeah, like too cool for school. Look at Junior over there doing the Macarena.
Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para darle alegría y
Cosa
Macarena.
buena.
Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Ay,
Are they still alive?
I don't know. ¿Te acuerdas el nombre del muchacho?
Victorino.
Do you remember what day they broke up?
No, wait.
Cuando juró la bandera.
Wait, what?
En el día de la... Macarena tiene un nombre que se llama. En el día what's the lyric? I know it's when
El día de la
amigo Macarena tiene en el día de something la bandera. Yeah, cuando juró la bandera.
Oh,
But what I remember, you know, it's funny. I remember that song before they did the
yes.
remix,
Which was,
because originally it was this flamenco song.
Yeah.
By Los de Rio.
Yeah.
That I remember my parents, they performed it in Juego de la Oca in Spain.
The world's most dangerous game.
And my parents used to watch it because they used to watch Antena 3 or whatever, Antena TV. And then they did the remix of the Macarena, and then it became what it became. But I mean, everybody was doing La Macarena that summer. And you know what? Yeah, we could look back on it and say, oh, that was stupid, how uncool. But whatever, bro. You know, you were doing the whole little
You were totally doing it.
thing everybody
and you know
was
what?
doing.
Those of you who weren't doing it, it's because you were not coordinated.
So you know what's funny? That when you look at these songs of the summer, they're all English, and I think of a lot of songs in the summer that are not in Spanish, that are not English. Like, for example, you know a song totally was song in the summer in like 1996? Maria.
Oh, yeah.
Ricky Martin, Maria.
Oh, what about Bailando?
That was 99.
Paradiso.
I don't know if that song was that big of a hit here.
Listen, if you had the box, it was a hit because that thing was always playing.
This list of summer hits goes back to 1958. Okay.
Coño.
Let's not go that back. Okay, 1986, Papa Don't Preach. 1996, La Macarena. 1999, Living La Vida Loca. 2005, We Belong Together. Yeah, baby. 2007, Umbrella. 2008, I Kissed a Girl. 2009, I Got a Feeling. 2010, California Girls. 11, Party Rock Anthem. 2012. Que canción pa' caerme, man. Gangnam Style. Oh,
Gangnam Style.
I can't stand that song. Okay, I am that person. I can't stand that song. That song is ridiculous.
I couldn't tell you what that song is about.
I don't care what the song is about. The song is ridiculous. And the dance was even more ridiculous. 2014, Fancy by Iggy Azalea. 2016, One Dance. It's a good song. And Can't Stop the Feeling. 2017, Despacito. 2018, I Like It, but by Cardi B. 2019, Old Town Road.
What do you think makes a What do you think makes a good song of the summer? Like to make it a song of the summer.
I think it should be up tempo.
Okay,
but not dance.
So just something that like driving music.
Somewhere between mid tempo and up tempo. Mid high tempo.
I think you're just creating weather patterns.
Worldwide. Oh, look, worldwide list. 1989, La Lambada.
Oh, the Forbidden Dance.
Oh, 2002, another song that I hate. This was in a worldwide summer song. Actually,
was it 2002?
2002. This is one of the songs I hate the most in like the history of humanity.
Wow, because that's a lot of years.
The Ketchup Song.
Oh, I said it here.
Yeah, you probably like that song.
I don't mind it. I like most songs that have a little dance.
¿Qué cosa más freaking ridícula? That song. I mean, what is that?
Well, what song did you write?
Not that. And
you definitely wouldn't write the ketchup song.
Oh, hell no. And 2023, Cruel Summer by Taylor Swift. Although if I'm going to say Cruel Summer, I'm going to go back to like
Bananarama.
1983 and say Cruel Summer by Bananarama. So what makes a summer song? I don't know, laid back.
But I like what you said. It can't be too laid back, but it can't be too fast.
It can't be like boom, 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 boom.
Right.
No.
Like it has to be something that you can like if you're
You know
driving
what?
in your car
You know what?
and it gets full of your friends.
Quote Janet Jackson. Summertime, cool summer, and this feeling goes on and on. I mean, she starts the
On
song
and
by
on
saying,
and on and on.
you know, summer. It's summertime, summer of love. You know, whatever.
I like that though. I like that. Like up tempo, but not
Yeah.
fast.
I don't know if this was a summer song. It wasn't on that list, but you know what I think rhythmically would be a summer song, like back in the 90s. Say You'll Be There.
Yeah.
Not, you know, like Rhythm Nation would not be.
No. It's too staccato.
What are songs of the summer you like, Junior?
I am going to go with Will Smith and Jazzy Jeff's
Yeah.
Summertime. That
Classic.
is my absolute album. And probably I will go along those lines and Mark Morrison, Return of the Mac.
Oh,
and
well.
keep it along that type of vibe. Maybe Arrested Development's People Every Day.
Okay.
So that is my big three for the summer there. So.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yet again, Junior being diverse.
Mark Morrison. Well, we've talked about.
I mean, I was gonna
I
say,
don't
this
think there's a podcast that has talked more about Mark Morrison than the official Mark Morrison podcast, which I'm sure there's one out there.
I was gonna say this is definitely a
I
Mark
thought
Morrison
you were
friendly.
saying this was the official Mark Morrison.
This is
podcast.
the
This close.
this is the official, unofficial
Mark
Mark
Morrison
Morrison.
podcast.
And come on, well I try to tell myself.
No.
And that's how the story goes. But you know I did was wrong. Ooh. And the nasty things you've done. And you listen carefully.
I sing my comeback song.
You lied to me.
All the things you said you'd never do.
You lied to me.
But I tried.
You lied to me.
Hey, I forgot.
You lied to me. Return of the Mac. Return of the Mac.
Oh my.
Return of the Mac.
Here we go.
You know that I'll be back. Return of the Mac. Return of the Mac. Return of the Mac.
I don't know Milo.
You know that I'll be round and round. Everybody give us
That
a
was.
Okay, that needs to be the real. That needs to be
That was Return of the Mac, sung by Trejano Male.
Return of the Whack.
Return of the Whack, yes. 1000%. Return of the
you know
what
how
the
we
fuck?
could do our reel when you're like, what makes the song of the summer? And then cut it into. Ay, el verano.
Ay, verano.
Hello, un verano sin ti. Duh.
Oh, duh.
Titi me preguntó.
That's right. That was a song of the summer.
That was a song of
I think up until like yesterday.
at least 3 seasons.
Yeah. It's a song for all seasons.
So, yeah, Return of the Mac.
Ay, Titi me preguntó.
That's a good song.
I'm
What?
laughing because the other day when I was doing our residency at Beat Culture, the lady who's there in the kitchen with us, she asked me and she's like, "What is he singing about in that song of his to his tia?" And I was like,
Wait, Return of the Mac?
No, Chico, Titi me preguntó.
Oh.
And I was like, to his tia. And I was like, oh, Titi me preguntó. She's like, yeah, what is he saying about his girlfriends? And I'm like, oh, okay. So I had to explain to her what Titi me preguntó is. Mind you, there are parts I have no idea because I don't understand all of Bad Bunny's lyrics. He mumbles a little bit.
He does, but that's not the lyrics.
No. But just generally speaking, there's sometimes where I'm just like, I'm just going to go with the flow here and get to the next verse. You know, I'm not even going to bother asking.
You know what song should have been Song of the Summer 2 in that list? Atrévete.
For sure.
Salte de closet.
Que nadie va a retratarte.
Deja de taparte. Que nadie va a retratarte. Levántate, ponte hyper. Well, we sang that a couple.
I was like, is this the second week in a row
Yeah,
that we
no,
sing that
not
Atrevete?
second week in a row, but that song was so good.
Still good.
Still is. So, anyway, all the singing has made us thirsty.
Yes.
Are we going to give our last soda now? We're going to talk about our sponsor.
Well, we don't have a sponsor today.
Okay.
So there's that.
We shouldn't edit that out. We should just leave it in. Listen, you want us real? You're getting real.
This is authentic, baby. You cannot get more authentic than this. So we don't have a sponsor today. So we're not going to mention a sponsor because we don't have one, but we will in a couple weeks.
We're sponsored today by Acme Anvils.
Yes.
Need an anvil? Call Acme. Do you have a pesky coyote hanging around your house?
If it's not Acme, it won't go splat.
Is that a thing?
No, I just made it up right now.
Oh my gosh. Do you know the other day on YouTube,
Okay.
they were watching
YouTube?
on YouTube, I was watching an episode, I think, of The Young and the Restless from like 1971.
As one does.
No, because the thing is that they have these whole episodes of a lot of these soap operas from like the early 70s. So I was watching a few of them because I was like, wow, this is in color. And then the thing is that whoever uploads them through AI sort of enhances the color and the quality.
Color adjust. Okay.
And you know what? So they would have the whole recording.
Commercials and everything.
Most of the commercials were for soap. They really were.
That's why it was a soap opera.
No, but they really were. It was like Palmolive, Dawn, like,
detergent.
Cascade, and I'm like, oh, wait. They really did have commercials for soap.
Yes.
But I was just sort of surprised by the sheer volume. And it was the 70s, so TV had been around already for a while.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah, but no, like soap operas were underwritten by like Procter and Gamble up until like 1980.
There was one for Lifebuoy.
I don't know what that is.
Lifebuoy. Oh, un jabón.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but Lifebuoy was like sandpaper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I never.
Yeah. Oh, like I remember in my house growing up, like the fancy a soap that we wouldn't always buy. We'd buy it for like Mother's Day and Christmas was, Caress.
Oh.
Yeah.
Before you dress,
it came in a box. It came in a little box.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, I hadn't thought about that.
Do you remember when we were kids, the soap bar that looked like a soap bar but was plastic with liquid soap inside?
No.
Yes.
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah. No. We used to for Mother's Day, my mom would give my grandmother, una caja de jabón.
Una señora, right?
Right, but we'd all use it. And it was Caress. And I was like, oh my God.
It does smell really good.
A rayo, other thing that we use, whatever it is that we use.
It's like ivory.
But Caress was like, oh,
yeah,
how luxurious. This is how the other half lives.
I mean, again, before you dress, Caress.
Do they even still make Caress?
I don't know. I can't remember the last time I saw one. But I also haven't been looking for them.
You haven't been looking for Caress.
Soap. Caress bar soap. So,
raise your hand. Raise your hand.
That's like, I don't know if
you're sure.
Do they still make Sure? I don't know.
Or Agree. The shampoo Agree.
There was a shampoo called Agree?
I
remember Pert Plus.
Yeah, Agree. In fact, I think Selena's last photo shoot was for Agree shampoo.
Oh.
Those are the pictures she looks really pretty in. That she's wearing like a beige shirt.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember Agree at all.
Yeah. Don't you remember more defunct cleaning products? Dash Limon.
No, I don't remember any of these.
Yeah, Dash Limon. That was one. Sun something. There was one with a sun.
Selsun Blue.
No, Chico. Dishwashing.
Oh, dishwashing.
There was one with a sun that had a sun. Sun dish.
I think it was called Sun.
Was it just called Sun?
I think it was just called Sun. Like Sun dishwashing detergent.
Wait, what was the one you said?
Selsun Blue.
I know. Selsun Blue todavía lo venden.
They do?
Yeah, I just completely said that.
Yeah, I love how you said it, by the way. Saison bleu.
Saison bleu.
Saison
Eso
bleu.
todavía duele.
Saison bleu ahí en Navarro.
Y Etiel.
¿Qué?
Etiel.
Etiel.
T-gel.
I'm like, who's Tiel?
Etiel. Don't you know any?
No.
Okay.
Not
anyway.
offhand. No, I don't.
And you know where you used to go buy your cars when you were a kid in the 80s and 90s?
Where?
Go Machado Ford.
Oh, yes. Ahí en La Flagler.
You know that the street is called Go Machado Way. Anyway, let's go to our last soda.
All right. So are you ready?
No, I'm not. You go.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you could be. Actually, you're giving a last soda for both of us.
For both of us?
Yes.
Oh, then I might change my last soda to go with something that you'll be like, what?
This last soda is brought to you by Omaha Steaks.
You can't say yum with Omaha.
Did you just make that up too?
Yes.
Oh my God. I remember when my mom used to buy Avon from whoever sold Avon to her.
You know, yeah, I never knew who the Avon lady was. They just existed.
And she would bring the skin so soft.
Yes.
And then she would bring all this stuff. And I'm like, mira de Avon.
Y el desodorante.
De Avon.
Yes. I used to use the 24 deodorant from
Were you a roll-on type of kid?
Well, I was whatever they brought to the house.
No, we always bought Secret.
No, we bought the Avon roll-on.
I mean, listen, it was strong enough for men.
But it was pH balance for women.
Right. So the men still got something out of it.
Yeah. I'm sure now it's just, it's probably they, them.
pH balance for them.
For them.
For everyone.
For everyone. It's all inclusive. So I'm going to give my last soda, which might be our last soda. This is going to be very random, but so this week they released the trailer for the new Naked Gun movie, and they're doing it's like a sequel
with Leslie Nielsen.
Well, no,
Naked Gun.
No, because he's dead. But
movie.
yes. So it's with Liam Neeson in the Leslie Nielsen role.
Because that's who I thought
playing his son, but I love it because of the fact that Liam Neeson has become this like late life action star. So now he's like, making fun of that. So I can appreciate that. But I'm actually giving it to the person playing the femme fatale in the movie, which is Pamela Anderson.
Okay.
She in that trailer made me laugh like un estúpido, and I was just thinking, I'm glad that we live in a time that we're having a little bit of a Pam-assance.
That Pam is getting flowers.
Yeah, she did Broadway. She did The Last Showgirl, which I saw recently. It was very good. And she's doing this movie where I always thought she has comedic chops. Like she's one of these people who I think because she doesn't take herself seriously, she understands what she looks like and she understands how to juxtapose that. And it made me happy that she's reclaiming her
CJ Parker does well.
Yeah, she's owning her narrative, as they say. And so I don't know, the trailer when she popped up, I didn't know she was going to be in it, and she hit every comedic note in it in a way that I was like, you know what, Pam, good for you,
good for you, Pam. Well, Pamela Anderson,
so, short and sweet,
gets 2 last sodas.
Yes. Remember when she had her own soda?
No.
The Pammy?
No.
And the bottle was in the shape of her body.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I do remember lying to myself, thinking that Crystal Pepsi tasted like regular Pepsi.
I don't know what that has to do with Pam Anderson, but okay.
No, because I thought about sodas.
Okay.
Do you remember what was the theme song to Crystal Pepsi?
It was from Van Halen.
Right now. For tomorrow. Right now. Come on. It's everything. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I don't remember what Crystal Pepsi tasted like.
I don't know. But I lied to myself thinking that, it tastes just like regular Pepsi.
Because it didn't taste like a Sprite, but it didn't taste like a Pepsi.
What was the point of it?
A new product.
Okay. Just like I would love to go back when they had new Coke to see what that tasted like. Because I remember when they went back to the regular formula that it was Coca-Cola Classic. Yeah. I remember thinking like, what's the classic for? Like,
yeah, I didn't understand.
I didn't know.
I understand.
So.
Yeah. Actually, that whole change happened under the stewardship of the company by a Cuban who used to work in the Coca-Cola factory in Cuba and came over to the US and was the head of the company at that time.
And he changed it up.
He changed it up. It was a decision that was made because of like, it was like a taste test thing, whatever. And then also he had already had success because he was the one that introduced Diet Coke. So because he had had the success with Diet Coke, the company was like, okay, well then let's see, what else you got?
Okay. Yeah. We're going to go have some Crystal Light now.
Oh, with Crystal Evans?
Yeah. And then
Linda Evans.
And then eat some Weight Watchers.
Oh, with Vanessa Redgrave?
I don't know anything that you're saying. Anyway, bueno, with that note, we hope everybody listened, laughed, and learned. I don't know what today, anything that happened.
There was no lesson here.
But we had a great time singing Mark Morrison, Return of the Mac, the three of us. We hope everybody has a great weekend. Remember to grab your pastelito, your croqueta, and your cafecito. And thank you so much for joining us, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Bye.